In a quiet village nestled between green hills and whispering forests lived a young man named Hiroshi. He was kind and gentle, with dreams that stretched far beyond the small world he knew. But Hiroshi struggled with a feeling he could not shake, a heaviness that came with not doing what he truly wished to do. Each day, he promised himself that the day would be different, that he would begin something meaningful. Yet each night, as the stars filled the sky, he found himself sitting still, caught in a loop of waiting for the perfect moment. "I will start tomorrow," he would say quietly. Tomorrow became a friend who never arrived. Days turned into weeks, and weeks into months. Hiroshi's dreams grew distant, and the voice of doubt grew louder. People around him began to call him lazy, and slowly he began to believe them. One afternoon, as Hiroshi rested beneath a cherry blossom tree near the village temple, he overheard two elders speaking softly. "There's a Zen master high in the mountains," one said, "who helps people find their own way." The words stirred something deep inside Hiroshi. For the first time in a long while, he felt a flicker of hope, not just wishful thinking, but a pull, a call. That night, while the village slept, Hiroshi quietly packed a small bag and set off on the long, winding path toward the mountain temple. The climb was steep and the air thin. His legs ached, his breath came in short gasps, but he did not turn back. Something inside him urged him onward. After many hours, he reached the temple, a simple wooden structure perched among ancient pines and wrapped in morning mist. The air was cool and still. In the courtyard, an elderly monk moved with quiet grace, sweeping fallen leaves in slow, deliberate strokes. "Are you Master Kenji?" Hiroshi asked, bowing deeply. The master nodded without stopping his work. "I want to change," Hiroshi said earnestly. "I want to stop being lazy. But I don't know how to begin. I am lost." Master Kenji looked at him with calm, steady eyes. Then, wordlessly, he motioned for Hiroshi to follow him. They walked down a narrow forest path to a small clearing. In the center stood a huge boulder, weathered and moss-covered, silent and unmoving. "Push it," the master said simply. Hiroshi stared at the rock, bewildered. "I'm supposed to push this?" "Yes." He stepped forward and placed his hands on the cold surface. He pushed with all his strength. The rock did not move. He tried again, and again. His muscles strained. Sweat dripped from his brow, but the stone stayed still. "I can't move it," he said, breathless. "You were never meant to move it," the master replied. "You were meant to push it." Confused, Hiroshi left the clearing and returned to the temple. The next morning, he went back and pushed again. Day after day, he returned. The rock did not budge, but Hiroshi's own body changed. His arms grew strong, his legs steady, his breath deepened. More importantly, his mind changed. The endless questions, "Why must I begin? When will I feel ready?" faded. He stopped waiting for motivation or inspiration. He simply showed up and pushed. One morning, Master Kenji approached. "The rock has not moved," Hiroshi said. "No," Kenji said quietly. "But you have—" Hiroshi realized it was true. He was no longer the same man who had come to the mountain months before. He was stronger, calmer, more present. "You believed laziness was your enemy," Kenji said, "but it was waiting for the right feeling, the right moment. Discipline is born not from feeling, but from action." Hiroshi nodded slowly, understanding dawning like sunlight through clouds. He began to help with other tasks around the temple, watering the garden, sweeping the grounds, chopping wood. He no longer thought of himself as lazy, nor did he wait for perfect conditions. Each day he acted, and with action came peace. After many months, Hiroshi returned to his village. The change in him was clear. He no longer spoke of grand plans or future ambitions. Instead, he quietly worked, repairing tools, helping neighbors, teaching children how to care for the land. He moved with calm purpose. When asked how he had changed, he would smile and say simply, "I stopped waiting." Years later, Hiroshi made the journey back to the mountain temple. The master was there still, older but steady, sweeping the courtyard as he had before. Hiroshi bowed deeply. "Master Kenji, I have come to thank you." Kenji smiled and gestured toward the clearing with a great boulder rested. "It has not moved," Hiroshi said softly. "No," Kenji said. But that was never the point. Hiroshi stood beside the stone, feeling the cool moss beneath his hands. "I see now," he said. "The rock was never an obstacle. It was a path." Kenji nodded. "Most people wait for the right mood, the right moment. But action is the seed from which motivation grows. You have learned the way of doing." Hiroshi looked once more at the stone, then up to the sky beyond the trees. "Will it ever move?" he asked. "Maybe," Kenji said, "but by then it won't matter." They stood together in silence, listening to the wind in the pines. Then Hiroshi turned and began the descent, carrying with him a calm that no longer needed to wait.